Sega's Yakuza is one of the finest video game crime drama franchises on the market. No other game in this genre successfully combines rich, dramatic storytelling with a combat system that harkens back to the timelessness of fun, old-school brawlers. Yakuza enjoyed a healthy success in the West as a niche title despite being so deeply entrenched in Japanese culture. So much so that Sega received flack for its attempts to repackage the experience for non-native Japanese audiences by removing overtly foreign activities that, in their mind, wouldn't make sense to anyone outside of the country. The backlash the publisher received after the release of Yakuza 3 in 2009 was loud. Fans so outraged by the omissions that the publisher promised to keep future localizations as intact as possible. I don't know what motivated Sega to re-release the PlayStation 3 Yakuza titles so late in the PlayStation 4's lifecycle, but nonetheless, this is a great time to be a fan. Having all 7 games accessible on a single platform in a time where your favorite movies and television shows are spread out across 4 different streaming services is the most satisfying feeling in the world. Besides delivering the complete story of Kiryu Kazuma under one roof, the Yakuza Remastered Collection gives the Western localizations of Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 a second chance. Instead of wringing their wrists over content, Sega has left everything intact, boosted the screen resolution, and increased the frame rate to 60 FPS. Passing the games through the PlayStation 4's hardware has immediate results when compared to their original PS3 releases, most notably the fog-like filter that made the original releases look unnecessarily dreamlike and muddled. There's a new clean and crisp look to the characters and the environments they inhabit. The colorful advertisements that mark shops and businesses competing for your attention, the glitzy neon lights that accent the city's nightlife, and the vogue fashion of flashy bystanders make Kamurocho, the fictional red light district at the heart of the Yakuza franchise, feel more alive and exciting. Some visual elements, like the textures on elaborate clothing, show signs of age whenever the camera zooms in a little too close, which proves that these games are not the same flashy modern remakes as Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2. The lack of enhanced graphics and high-resolution textures does nothing to diminish the riveting, interwoven stories of opportunism and double crosses that run rampant in Yakuza's world of organized crime. The Yakuza Remastered Collection covers a period of time where Kiryu Kazuma, 4th chairman of the Tojo clan and the Dragon of Dojima, attempts to completely separate from his past as a Yakuza enforcer. As the owner of the Morning Glory Orphanage, he sees his time looking after young boys and girls as a chance to shape them into model citizens, drawing on his own experience of growing up without parental figures. Life is often unpredictable, and no matter how hard Kiryu tries to stay away, whether it's running an orphanage in Okinawa or living incognito on the southern tip of the country, his past always comes back to pull him into the life he so desperately wanted to escape. What makes each Yakuza game so interesting to me is watching Kiryu navigate precarious tightropes across multi-tier conspiracies that lie at the heart of each adventure. Later games would go on to feature a growing list of new characters who you'd get to play, seeing the Yakuza's influence and Kiryu's past actions through their own eyes. No matter who you end up controlling, their lives are disrupted by the Yakuza's shady business deals and secret alliances designed to fill the coffers of the clans. And at the center of it all is Kamurocho. A character unto itself, Kamurocho has evolved across the series, expanding and rebranding itself as the Yakuza's hold on the area titans. The games in this set prominently feature this location, but expand the scope further by introducing new haunts, also based on real places, that act as a haven for the criminal underworld. Each Yakuza adventure packs a lot of narrative meat on its bones, offering numerous extended cutscenes and sequences in which characters just talk with each other, discussing in no uncertain terms the implications that major story beats and plot twists have on the greater story and the lives they impact. These scenes have a tendency to be drawn out and slow-paced, and the end result is a slow, simmering boil that eventually grows into a full conflagration of violence, in which 2 to 5 men enter and only 1 can leave. Combat draws upon traditional old-school brawlers that let you wail on goons with punches and kicks, or grab an object from the environment and beat them silly with it until their health bars are emptied out. Though fun and flashy, I can see the argument being made that the series takes the homage a bit too far, given the repetitiveness of fighting and how little it has evolved throughout the franchise. Fights can break out at any moment, as thugs, gangsters, and other toughs like to stop Kiryu in his tracks for a shakedown. As serious as the story takes itself in every game, combat is a cathartic release of tension and drama. The characters you control are capable fighters that generate heat with every blow they land on the enemy, which can be spent on more powerful contextual moves that are often too painful to watch. A grabbed enemy can be walked over to a wall and get his face smashed into the concrete, another could have his back broken against a railing, or kicked in the face when they're left groveling for mercy. Picking up items like bicycles, safety cones, electronic signs, chairs, and so on also have fun heat effects that make combat a pure joyous spectacle. Story-specific fights are a bit different because they culminate in a boss encounter with a major antagonist character, usually a ranked Yakuza officer, that end up being contests of martial arts and brute strength marked by both men dramatically removing their tops to reveal their elaborate back tattoos. Fighting enemies earns soul orbs that can be used to purchase new combat moves and heat-generating skills that ensure your character becomes a total badass by the end of the story. The mainline Yakuza stories are short on laughs and delivered with a gravitas that never feels cheap, manipulative, or unearned. Comic relief, then, is provided by diversions and sub-stories, which are bite-sized chunks of adventures involving the hapless residents inside and out of Kamurocho. You'll run into all kinds of people in need of assistance, like helping a guy ask a woman out on a date, finding a lost child, and raiding different restaurants in Fukuoka, and outmaneuver rival business owners in exchange for a generous reward of experience points, cash, and a helpful item or two. Should you tire of trying to solve other people's problems, the cities you visit in each game overflow with things to do. Bars and karaoke clubs let you sing your heart out to Japanese pop tunes and power ballads. Clubs host darts and mahjong tournaments, and arcades contain fully playable SEGA classics like Outrun, Super Hang-On, and Space Harrier. You can chat up beautiful women in host clubs, manage your own host clubs and train women as clients, play baseball and golf and bowling, you can taxi people across town, and so much more. Money is easily earned in Yakuza, and the series has found a lot of creative ways for you to spend it. The Yakuza Remastered Collection is a valuable addition to the PlayStation 4 library because it fills in the gap created as a result of a prequel, 2 remakes, and the de facto conclusion to Kiryu Kazuma's story. Not content to just republish the PS3 games and be done with it, SEGA took the time to update them to take advantage of the PS4's improved hardware and even relocalized the text to ensure a more accurate translation of the original Japanese text. What this collection means is more time spent playing as Kiryu and his allies, beating the utter hell out of street punks in Japan's most notorious red light haunts. As stocky and solid as these games are, there's an argument to be made over their dated design, given that the series never quite strayed too far outside of its own lines. Combat doesn't deviate too strongly from its roots, nor does the game loop do anything different from the run to this objective to trigger the next scene structure. Even Yakuza 5's introduction of racing and taxi missions is comically old-fashioned when held up against its contemporaries. There is, however, a consistency with each Yakuza adventure because SEGA knows what works for them and sticks to it while adding flourishes and features here and there. Grounded in its own reality, the Yakuza Remastered Collection is a reminder of how competent and reliable this franchise has grown to be. DarkStation gives the Yakuza Remastered Collection for the PlayStation 4 5 stars.
Ryu-sama!